Why does the Church of Scientology not move into the political sphere? Mitt Romney, who was open about being a Mormon, almost became the President of the United States and was governor before that. A celebrity like Arnold Schwarzenegger became governor of California. So why would Scientology not get one of their members to run for governor or senator? They have the money to fund a campaign and celebrities to endorse their candidate. It could maybe give them more respectability in the outside world and an internal PR boost. Okay, that is an interesting question. So first off, there has been a Scientology senator, that was Sonny Bono, Representative, House of Representatives is where he was, from California. And this was back in the 70s, I believe. He died, I think, in the 80s, and he was a congressman. Then there have been local representatives, city board, city council, stuff like that. Joy Villa was actually making an effort to get into politics. And let me tell you a little story here that I observed that might give you the idea of why I think that Scientology trying to get somebody into politics is just a pipe dream of the tallest order. So Joy Villa was actually going for it. She had started making inroads into the GOP. She had connected as far as into the White House with her, flamboyant dresses and pro-Trump anti-abortion stance and various other things that she had done. She met, I think, Milo Yiannopoulos and Seb Gorka and other, insiders in the White House, and she had gotten herself a political consultant. This was all reported on, by the way, on Tony Ortega's Underground Bunker, so you can look it up there too. Anyway, she was making some inroads into this, and one day she even got an endorsement from Trump himself from his own Twitter feed. He said something about Joy Villa, somebody to watch or something like that. Somebody got him to do that. And his own supporters, his own base of people, almost all of them in reply, because I went through on his tweet and I read every reply to it, and there were lots and lots and lots of them. I read tons of replies because I was very curious about this. And this was within the first hour or two that he had tweeted this. And of course, I went on there and I was like, Scientologist, are you nuts? And everyone, maybe 2% of the replies to that tweet were, oh, Joy Villa, go Joy. Every other one was telling Donald Trump, his own base was telling him, dude, she's a Scientologist. Do you know that? Like, no way. Like, she supports, human rights violations, stalking, harassment. The Church of Scientology is the worst thing on the planet. How could you possibly be? Do you know she's a Scientologist? We should not be endorsing her. Donald, I can't go with you on this one. My God, man, I support you in every way, but not this time. You really need to reconsider she's a Scientologist. So these points were being made over and over and over again by people who usually reply to Trump's tweets with nothing but adoration and near worship. So that was the response even from there. Scientology is so toxic, and deservedly so, that anyone who identifies themselves as a Scientologist in a public forum where people are going to vote on them, that would be a very unwise move to out themselves as a Scientologist, because Leah Remini's show, the volume of books that have been produced by us critics and former members, the Going Clear documentary, and everything else that has happened over the last 10, 15 years has been spelling doom for Scientology, because they have been doing very, very bad things, and they've been doing them for a number of years. They've earned their reputation. So when somebody puts themselves out as a public face of Scientology, they're going to receive a ton of this stuff back. The only exception to this is with celebrities like Tom Cruise, and I explained a couple of weeks ago why. They control the messaging. The celebrities are a whole different thing from politicians. Celebrities control what questions they're going to be asked and how and when. And they themselves are the product. So they show up on a show and that show gets ratings. If they don't show up, the show doesn't get that same ratings. So Tom Cruise has the power to demand what kind of questions he's going to be asked, and he doesn't have to answer anything about Scientology. It's a whole different thing in the political realm. If a politician puts himself out there, they are under the microscope in every conceivable way. It's open season on them in every way by every media outlet. And the question of Scientology will absolutely come up because it speaks to their values, their opinions on homosexuality or the LGBTQ community, on psychiatry and mental health issues, on the religious angle, on human rights. I mean, there's just a number of things that Scientology has, any Scientologist would have to answer for, and including all the stories that we're all very, very aware of about disconnection, ripping apart families. And they can't lie their way out of that because Scientology really does do those things. So they're not going to succeed as a politician on any kind of platform, on either side of the aisle, because they're part of a group that is doing really horrible things to people. So, that doesn't even bring up the other aspect of this, which is that the Church of Scientology is a 501c3 organization. It's nonprofit. Therefore, it cannot endorse any single candidate or give money to political causes, political candidates, or tell its membership that it's supporting this candidate or that candidate. They're not supposed to be doing that. Yes, they have done that, but they're not supposed to. And if they start putting politicians forward who appear to be getting money directly from the church or through church sources, then that's going to tie right back to the church, and it's going to endanger the church's tax-exempt status. Maybe in that regard we would want that, but the Church of Scientology definitely does not want that kind of attention on itself. So I don't think it's going to be super interested in trying to get a Scientologist into office. I don't really think that's Miscavige's game. It could change. He might be working on something like that right now, for all I know. But I don't think so because of everything I've just laid out for you. So I hope all that is clear and makes sense.